This has Pelicans fans very concerned as another star player is headed to injured reserve. But I'm going to tell you why you may not need to be concerned that much about this inside this edition of Pelicans Digest. What's good with it, y'all? It's your people, Melz On The MIC, back once again inside Pelicans Digest. Thank you so much once again for tapping in with your boy and for tuning in, man. And thank you for subscribing. If you still haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for, man? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. This is where you get the best analysis, reports, and more about the New Orleans Pelicans. On this Friday, is Melz talking about those Pels, and we got some breaking news coming in this morning on this Friday. You're coming off a two-game winner, back-to-back win streak. You're feeling good. You're going into a tough game on Saturday against the San Antonio Spurs. You're doing the winning without Zion. You're doing the winning without Jordan Poole. And now it's being reported this morning, the breaking news this morning is you have to try to figure out if you could do some more winning without Jordan Poole. He already missed the game against the Mavericks, according to reports, due to left knee soreness. And now, according to the Pelicans, he's going to be gone. Well, about the same amount of time as Zion. Breaking news this morning, the Pelicans announced that guard Jordan Poole has been diagnosed with a mild left vastus lataris quad strain. Poole will be reevaluated in 7 to 10 days, and further updates, blah, blah, blah. You know what they always finish with, appropriately, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. You went out and you trade to go get this guy. Got CJ McCollum out of here, and if you go do your Googles on CJ McCollum, Wizards fans is not happy about that right now. They're getting a taste of what we was dealing with. So for all of y'all who was crying about, oh, you traded your most veteran guard, well, go check in on Washington and go see how, and go ask Wizards fan how they doing with that right now. But we ain't doing that much better either. Besides the one big 30-point night, I think, from Poole, he hasn't really been a factor. To be honest with you. And again, one of the things that I pointed out in various games so far, especially in the last two games, not the last two games, not the Mavericks game, but the Hornets game and previous games before that, where the Pels lost close, was the fact that I felt like Willie Green was relying on Jordan Poole too much. And that led to problems on both the offense and the defense. Because you saw this, there was a lot of offensive possessions where the Pels would sprint up the court, Jordan to get up to that logo and say, you know what? I ain't gonna wait for y'all. 3. Chunk it. Shoot it. YOLO. Who cares? And that would affect the offense in so many negative ways. And don't even get me started on the defense. And what I'm about to explain to you is why you shouldn't trip out that Jordan Poole ain't been in this game. Because I came across a fascinating article this morning just before the news of Jordan Poole being injured and going on injured reserve came out. I came across this article this morning on Sports Illustrated. Can't remember who wrote it. My apologies. Your name was kind of hard to say. I think it's Sim Yabalu or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect your name, brother. But he wrote an article that Jordan Poole is the biggest loser of the Pelicans' win over the Mavs despite not playing. And what he points out is the fact that the Pelicans are much better without Jordan Poole on the floor in both offense and defense. And this was startling for me to read. But I'm going to give you the quotes in this article. For the season, the Pelicans are 19 points per 100 possessions worse with Poole on the floor than off. This is per Cleaning the Glass data. Almost the entire difference comes from the defensive end, as the Pelicans give up a whopping 128.4 points per 100 possessions when Poole is on the court. This would rank as the worst defense in the league by a mile. And Poole is playing over 30 minutes per game this season. He has a 25% usage rate, the second most on the team after Williamson, but is only shooting 35% from the field. When one of your top offensive players is so inefficient from the field, that is a recipe for disaster for your offense. And that's what it has been so far on offense. But my thing has always been the defensive side. Jordan Poole has given up so many easy points, and you would think it was because of bigs. But it's not because of that, because a lot of the points are coming in the paint. These are guards just getting past Jordan Poole and being able to get into the paint and either dunk or get a layup or get an easy shot. And so when you read that, it's kind of like, well, damn. And you've seen how we played better defensively over the last 2 games. Granted, it was a shorthanded Charlotte. It was a shorthanded Dallas. Dallas is worse than us in offensive and defensive rating. We're near the bottom, but we ain't at the bottom. Dallas is at the bottom. So granted, these are against 2 teams that are not good, period, okay? But again, you saw those numbers for those numbers were based on the totality of all the games so far this season. That the Pelicans are worse when Jordan Poole is on the floor, especially defensively, giving up 20 more points a game defensively when he's on the floor. So that's why he played his way out of the starting lineup. But even on the second unit, when he would come in the second and third quarter, and he would get more minutes over maybe a Jose or even Hawkins, which, again, some of y'all pointed out, and I agree with y'all. Hawkins did give more defensive effort in this game against Dallas than we've seen all season. But I still want Micah Peavy there. I still want to see Micah Peavy there. And as a matter of fact, if you're Willie Green, you just go ahead and trust these 4 guys right here. Derek Queen, Micah Peavy, Carlo Makovic, and Sadiq Bey. In Poole's absence. Wherever you men wanted to put Poole at, make sure one of these guys is replacing that spot or filling in that spot. I would like to see Micah Peavy and Hawkins continue to split the minutes for now until Peavy can prove he can get a shot in. Hawkins still makes me nervous, depending on who we're going up against. In this game that we got coming up against San Antonio, I too much don't want Hawkins out there. I too much don't want Hawkins out there because I think those I can't remember Vassell and Castle and Harper, they were burning him in the first game. Now, can he give more effort this time? We'll see. I will hope to see more of Micah Peavy, though, in Poole's absence. Or at least a split of the time between the two. I don't want to see both Hawkins and Peavy on the floor together. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want. That's what I didn't like in the game against Dallas in the few minutes that was in there. But this article in SI continues on to talk about how with Poole, you're going to have to stop relying on him so much. I mean, yeah, he's good. He might be good for one of these 30-point-a-night games when he come in the second and lead the second unit and help out from time to time. But if he wants to, maybe just sitting him down for 7 to 10 games and making him recognize that, hey, we got an offense we're trying to run here. We got some ball movement we can do here. We got guys you can trust. You don't feel like you have to be the guy. Because that's what I think I think that's the swag in the persona he thinks he's got to take on is I'm the guy. I'm the guy. I'm Jordan Poole. I'm the guy here. I'm the big guy. I'm the big dog here. But with Fears needing to get as many reps as possible because of his endless upside, there is no choice but to marginalize Poole in the rotation. He can still be useful in limited minutes off the bench, but Poole's days as a 30-minute per game player in New Orleans needs to come to an end. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And we'll see how that happens when he comes back from his injury. But again, I wouldn't be too concerned. Because, again, this is going to give you an opportunity to get these guys a look. Some of these guys some more reps, especially these rookies and Queen and Peavy and Fears. And also, like I said, you got Sadiq Bey. He's starting to emerge and come out. I think Carlo needs a few more minutes. It's going to be tough to see what happens with the San Antonio game upcoming because the last time you played these guys, you did play them close, but you also played them close because you had Zion Williamson. And you also played in. So it's going to be difficult to see what happens with this team in this game coming up with San Antonio. But I wouldn't be concerned that Poole's not there because I think we get better defensively and maybe even offensively. Will we score as many points? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to score as many points as y'all will probably want. I know y'all probably want 120 a night. I think we're going to be scoring less than that, and that's fine because we'll at least have more of a defensive identity in these next few games or in these next few weeks to see what we can work with. If we have a better defensive identity, then we can afford to not score as much and not have to try to put up 120 points a night. We don't want to get into shootouts with a lot of these teams because that's where I think the Pelicans get in trouble with. You know, I've said this before about us being, why are we thinking that we're a three-point team? We're not a three-point team, okay? Let's get these twos. You know, let's work on these twos and get these twos in the mid-range and in other places. But defensively, one more thing that I want to point out before I move on. I would like to see us continue to go back to the man-to-man defense. I hate that we play zone defense, especially against teams like San Antonio that's got shooters, because they always leave somebody open on the three. I think this team plays much better, gets more steals, can disrupt more passing lanes when they play man-to-man. I think Willie needs to trust those guys to play man-to-man. But I'm also saying it again, now that you know that Jordan Poole is hurt for 7 to 10 days and going to be down for the next 7 to 10 days, now my thought process of saying get a package together, Zion and Poole don't sound too bad. Now, does it? Now, does it? I'm just saying it doesn't. Now it don't sound so bad. Some of y'all criticized me in the last video saying, oh, you crazy, you going to treat it with all your talent? Well, my talent ain't available. That's the problem. My so-called big money, $30 million a year talent ain't available. My guys that are available I'm paying them 7, 10, not even $20 million a year in most cases. So yes, it's something that you need to start imagining and start thinking, Pelicans fans. I'm just telling you, start imagining and thinking it. I'm just giving you ideas to open your mind up. I'm just saying. But what are your thoughts, though? Jordan Poole, is missing him going to be a factor? Are you concerned that this is going to be the start of something bad with this Pelicans team as far as injuries are concerned? What are your thoughts? Clap back with your thoughts in the comments. And I'll be back again tomorrow. Maybe we might go live tomorrow night with a Spurs game. We'll see. But thank you so much for making us one of the fastest growing Pelicans podcasts out there. If you still haven't subscribed, what are you doing, baby? Hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Share it with your folks. It's Melz talking about them bells on Pelicans Digest.